We all love when Fortnite unvaults weapons or items. Even if that item or that weapon is bad, it is still nice to see that Fortnite didn't forget about it. But with the release of Chapter 6, it kinda feels like Fortnite is trying to ruin every old weapon that they released, because even though they are unvaulting those weapons, they, for some reason, want to nerf them and then unvault them. For example, last season they unvaulted the kinetic blade and the hunting rifle. So because the kinetic blade was really popular back in chapter 4 season 2 and everybody was using it, everybody got excited that the kinetic blade finally got unvaulted. But the problem is that yes, the kinetic blade did came back, but that is not a problem. The problem was that the kinetic blade now had durability. We all know what durability is, right? It's basically something that makes your weapon break after you use it for too many times. The Typhoon Blade was a very powerful melee weapon and a lot of spammers were using it, so yeah, Fortnite added durability to the Typhoon Blade for a reason, to stop spammers. I mean, it's nothing new, honestly. We have seen durability getting added to a lot of weapons in the past as well. For example, in chapter 4 season 2, I believe we had durability for the ODM gear. So durability wasn't a big problem until they unvaulted the kinetic blade, and players quickly started to notice that the kinetic blade now had durability. The problem was that unlike the Typhoon Blade, which had durability but it didn't break as fast, the Kinetic Blade's durability was really weak, and after 10 times of using the Kinetic Blade you would already be left with 20% durability. And of course everybody was mad at Fortnite because of that, since they were basically forcing you to pick the Typhoon Blade instead of the Kinetic Blade. I don't know why they would add durability to the Kinetic Blade for no reason, but I think it's because of the Typhoon Blade. The Typhoon Blade was a new melee weapon, so Fortnite was too scared to unvault the Kinetic Blade and not nerf it, because everybody will just, use the Kinetic Blade instead of the Typhoon Blade and forget about the Typhoon Blade. So they unvaulted the Kinetic Blade but added durability to it so that players would, pick up the Typhoon Blade instead of the Kinetic Blade, because the Kinetic Blade had a much weaker durability than the Typhoon Blade, making it break even faster. But if that's the case, then why even unvault the Kinetic Blade in the first place, just to ruin it? It doesn't really make any sense. If you want players to use the Typhoon Blade more, then just don't unvault the Kinetic Blade. They basically unvaulted the Kinetic Blade just to ruin it. Same problem with the hunting rifle. The hunting rifle was unvaulted last season for the winter update, but the problem with that was that the hunting rifle had crazy bullet drop. Like, it made it way harder to hit players with it. I don't know why they decided to unvault the hunting rifle and nerf it for no reason at all. It had the same problem that the Kinetic Blade had. It's back, but nerfed. And now we are in chapter 6 season 2 and this problem is still here. Last month or a couple of weeks ago, I don't exactly remember when, they decided to unvault the Sentinel Pump Shotgun, Scoped Burst SMG and the Twin Mag Assault Rifle. And get this, they decided to keep the Scoped Burst SMG how it was, like they didn't change anything to the Scoped Burst SMG. As for the Sentinel Pump Shotgun, it actually got buffed, but the Twin Mag Assault Rifle got nerfed for absolutely no reason at all. And recently they decided to bring back 2 more items for the final update of this season. Those 2 items are the business turret and another popular item, the rocket ram. And everybody was happy that the rocket ram was finally back. Sure, we have the new rocket drill, but the rocket ram is still more fun to use than the rocket drill. But the problem is that now you can only use this thing for 10 times and then it breaks. It's gone. But back in chapter 4 season 4, the rocket ram was infinite. You could use it for how many times you wanted because it wouldn't break. You still had to wait for the cooldown, sure, but it wouldn't break. You could use it for how many times you wanted. But now, every time you use it, you still have to wait for the cooldown and you can only use it 10 times. And of course, everybody was not happy with this change. It doesn't make any sense why they would do this. Why did they nerf the rocket ram for no reason at all? I honestly don't know why, but again, same story as the kinetic blade. I think it's because of the new item, the rocket drill. The rocket drill works just like the rocket ram, but a little bit different, right? Instead of you going up into the sky and then dropping back down like the rocket ram does, you only fly slowly in the direction you're aiming. Because the rocket drill has durability, Fortnite was too scared to unvault the rocket ram because, players would just use the rocket ram instead of the rocket drill because the rocket ram doesn't have durability. So what did Fortnite do? They decided to unvault it anyways, but make it so that it's not infinite anymore. But again, it doesn't make any sense. If you really didn't want players to use the rocket ram and use the rocket drill instead, then why even unvault the rocket ram in the first place? They basically unvaulted the rocket ram just to ruin it. I might sound like I'm complaining too much, but back in the past we didn't have this problem. Sure, some weapons would get unvaulted and nerfed as well, but not every single popular weapon. In chapter 6, it feels like every single fun or strong weapon gets unvaulted, but it gets nerfed for absolutely no reason at all. We are still in chapter 6 season 2 as I'm making this video, but I really hope that next season, because we all know that next season is going to be a Star Wars season, I really hope that next season we won't get durability added to lightsabers as well, because that would suck. And now that we are finally done talking about that, if you enjoyed this video, you can always, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. It really helps a lot, trust me. I'm going to probably upload more this month. I know I didn't upload a new video for like 2 months, but I've been really busy. But yeah, it feels good to be back. Like always, I will see you all later. Goodbye.